Artisan Yarn podcast. I am Tara and I am the hand iron owner behind Irish Artisan Yarn. If you're new to this channel, thank you so much for joining. This is a knitting yarn podcast with little other bits thrown in, and if you're coming back to watch, thank you so much. You can subscribe below, you can leave comments, ask questions, and you can find me over on Instagram at Irish Artisan Yarn and the same on Facebook. And the website is www.irishartisanyarn.com. So I wanted to share some different things, what I've been up to. I'm aware I haven't posted a video in a good number of weeks, over a month. My grandpa sadly passed away at the end of March, which was quite unexpected. We are a very close family, very close to my grandpa, so it was a really tough time. So I really appreciate all your lovely messages if you had heard the news. But prior to that, at the beginning of March, I was in Edinburgh for our wedding anniversary, and then I was in Edinburgh last weekend for the Woolly Good Gathering. So I've got lots of snippets to share with you. I'm going to combine it into one video, as I wasn't able to do the video in March. But I visited a yarn shop that we stock, Fibre Yard, and the show I want to talk about. So lots of different things. And I'm also going to talk about this year's advent calendar. So that's what's coming up in this episode, and I hope you enjoy. Any questions, as always, comment below and I will answer them. And thank you so much for watching. So we'll start off with this year's advent calendar. So this is the mood board. This is the Flora of Ireland advent calendar for 2026. If you don't know what an advent calendar is, so this is a hand-dyed yarn advent calendar. Every year I've done one, so I think this is, I probably should keep a record, I think this is the 7th year I've done an advent calendar. And I'm really excited about this one because this year I decided to hand paint the mood board, which you will see here on the screen, and all the lovely colours. So I don't want to talk you through what's involved in the advent, what you get. I've got my phone because I've got notes on it. Again, let me know if you have any questions. So the advent calendars at the time of this video being live are live on the website. We ship worldwide. There are options to pay in full or 6-month instalments. The 6-month instalment will probably only be available for the next few weeks, just with how it works with being able to pay the final instalment before it gets shipped. But I just want to talk to you about the different options. So there is a weekly advent and a daily advent. In the past, I've been given lots of options, but we're making it a bit more simple. For me, for packing, and my dad and my mum and lovely customer Karen, who's become a really good friend, she wraps a lot of the minis, most of them, husband winds them. So it's a full family and friends get involved because it takes a lot of time. And the reason I launch advents in April is I don't think people realise they take months to dye and wind, and then from September we have a lot of shows and busy, so I really like to get them done over the summer. So that means I really have to get the orders in by the May at the latest, so I can start dyeing it in June. Also means I can dry it outside. The sun is shining today in Northern Ireland, which is such a welcome change. We have had a very wet, like I'm sure the rest of the UK, up until like a week or two ago, so let's not jinx it, but I'm loving the sunshine. So let's talk about the advent calendar. So weekly and daily. So we'll talk about the daily first. So there are options of bases, but basically this year, instead of different tiers, if you've seen in the past, I am doing one type of box, keeping it simple. And in that box, you will get your base of choice. So there's 3 bases to choose from. We have our 4-ply fingering Superwash Merino, which is kind of like the standard base I do every year. Our 4-ply fingering Merino Bamboo Silk, which was really, well, everyone loved it last year, first year I did it. Just to note, if you do have that base, the colours will be slightly more muted just because the way the silk and the bamboo takes the dye. And then we have our DK Merino, because I know a lot of people are wanting DK. So they're the 3 bases of the daily. And then in terms of what you get, because like I said, it's all one package, you will get 24 mini skeins individually wrapped. You will also get, I'm also going to put a photo here of last year's advent to give you an idea. You will get a 100-gram skein, so a full skein, and then you will also get a gift. So a few little extras, but I'm not going to share what they are. And a lovely little pattern booklet. So in the past we've done patterns. This year I've decided to actually make a little booklet suggesting lots of patterns because we have so many patterns that I've got designed and then other ones. So I'm doing that this year so you can have a choice. So that's the daily. Then the weekly is, I'm reading to make sure I get the right bases. The weekly advent, there's 4 different base options, so slightly different. So we have the Merino Bamboo Silk again, the DK, merino. We also have the alpaca silk, which I've never offered as a weekly set, so I'm very excited. Again, if you order this, the colours will be slightly softer, just the way the alpaca takes the dye. And then if you're a sock knitter, we of course have our sock set, which you get 100 grams of merino nylon plus a 20 gram contrast mini. So that contains 100 grams stroke 120 if you get the sock set, because the idea is last year I did 4 or 5 different ones, but streamlining it, so 5. You'll be able to open one every week in December plus Christmas Day. And that also is able to purchase in full or in instalments. And then you'll also get a little pattern book like the other one to give you some ideas of what you can make. Obviously, ideas are endless with Advents. And then some little gift. So those are the Advent calendars which are available. I'll put the link below. They probably will, I'll probably stop selling them towards the middle of May actually. So not long left, but I hope you enjoy those colours, and any questions let me know. And again, shipping worldwide. If you are in the EU, because we're in Northern Ireland, there's no customs, I know I've said this before, but just in case you're first time watching. So Southern Ireland, the rest of Europe, no customs charge because of being in Northern Ireland. We have different shipping regulations to the rest of the UK, but a benefit. So yes, and we put good labels on it so that they know not to charge customs, and they've worked really well the last few years. But I know it's a big investment, and if you have any questions or what you want to know, please let me know. And yeah, I hope you enjoyed this year's Advent calendar. So that's just a little bit about what I have been doing in the past few months, is planning all that because it takes so much time. But talking about Edinburgh, so we went to Edinburgh at the beginning of March, which was amazing. We had quite good weather. It was our 8th wedding anniversary, and we try and go away every few years somewhere. So we thought we'd do Edinburgh, and we had a lovely time. We went to the Fibre Yard, which is a shop that stocks Irish artisan yarn. So if you're in Edinburgh, check it out. I'm actually going to insert some clips here of the shop. Really, really beautiful, owned by Esther and Anna, the loveliest people. And it's just nice to see a local yarn shop with an interesting selection of yarn, so I would definitely check it out. They also had a really good selection of books, and yeah, very welcoming shop. So I'm going to put some inserts here and you can enjoy. So that was the Fibre Yard in Edinburgh. So I'd highly recommend. I didn't get to look at any other yarn shops because we were on quite limited amount of time. We were literally just there for 3 days and we were doing different things. But I'm going to put some inserts of some little touristy bits we did. We did the traditional tour. I hadn't been to Edinburgh since I was a child. We did those sort of traditional touristy bits, which were really enjoyable. On reflection, after going to Edinburgh last weekend for a show, and we went to Stockbridge, which was where the Woolly Good Gathering was held in the Edinburgh Academy, the school. I would highly recommend going there. I probably would have preferred to do that in March. I am not a big city person. I live beside the beach. We're quite close to the countryside where we live. So busy city life is probably not me, which sounds very silly going to Edinburgh. But I love the sort of quaintness and independent shops in Stockbridge, so I'd really recommend if you're going to Edinburgh to check it out. And also in April, the cherry blossoms were incredible. Just cherry blossoms everywhere. I'll try and put some photos in. Show was run by 6 different people. It was incredible. I'll put their names below because I don't want to muck up anyone's. My memory's not so good at the moment. But it was a really, really great show. First time ever going and exhibiting. There was a great range of stalls. Now, as like any other show, I didn't actually get any time to shop around. So I am not very good at showing you my purchases because I bought one thing, which... It's always the way when you do a show, and because the way this show ran was a Friday, Saturday, we literally arrived, set up on the Thursday, worked all day Friday, Saturday, and we literally left and we got the ferry back at 11:30 on the Saturday night. So it was a very short, condensed trip. But I really, really enjoyed it. I'll put some little pictures here of the stand. Yeah, it was just a really lovely, very welcoming show, run really, really well. And yeah, hopefully I wish them every success for the next year and as they continue, because I know that it is not easy running a show. I've done small events, but not a show. But on that note, regarding other shows, the next one I'll be vending at, if you are local to Northern Ireland, is in Castlespie. It's Gathering Stitches, which is run by Inspiring Yarns. I will put their link and stuff below. But this will be run at Castlespie, and this is the 9th and 10th of May. It is the 9th and 10th. I'm just triple checking the dates. I don't want to tell you the wrong dates. Yes, 9th and 10th of May, and I will be there all weekend with a full selection of yarn. So if you are local, they also have a range of workshops going on. So again, I'll put the link below, and I'm really looking forward to that one. And yeah, so thank you so much for joining me on this little short episode of a podcast. I just thought I'd give you a little update of what I've been doing. I am still around, busy dyeing colours. I'm working on the next new collection, so I can't wait to share that with you probably in the next maybe month, maybe end of May, June. The colours are just sort of coming together. I don't want to give too much away, but I'll maybe let me know, would you like to see sort of a behind the scenes video, more like a vlog instead of a sort of sit down podcast? Is that of interest? Do you like to sort of see what happens running a yarn business, what I get up to? Because I think people think it's just dyeing yarn all day, which I can, like every other yarn dyer, can guarantee it's not. There's a lot of, well, between skein winding, labelling, preparing yarn, then there's also the admin, the website, the photographing, the social media, the YouTube, the editing. It's quite a lot. So let me know if that type of video would be of interest. And I have promised this since last year, I will be getting in the garden to film our veg garden. Last year we set up a vegetable patch around the side of the house, just with 6 raised beds. I'm trying to count, 6, yeah, 2 big ones, 4 smaller ones, and then we also have some other raised beds. So we're growing quite a lot, I have to say. My husband is doing most of it. But if that is of interest, I was thinking of doing a little what we're growing. We are doing things like runner beans, strawberries, rhubarb, carrots, potatoes, cucumber. Tomatoes don't do overly well for us here. When we lived in the south of England, tomatoes were incredible because obviously we had really strong sun. They ripened really well. The last 3 years we've grown tomatoes, they have really stayed green right until the end. And they take up not loads of space, but a fair amount of space in the veg garden. So I do think we're doing tomatoes this year. What else have we got? Onions, spring onions, loads of salad. We eat a lot of salad as a family, and it is just amazing to be able to go out every evening and pick it. And I have to say, if you're starting, I personally think salad is one of the easiest to grow. I don't know if you have any gardening tips below, you can let me know, or vegetable growing. The things that didn't go so well last year for us were things like purple sprouting broccoli, cauliflower and kale. We had them netted, but butterflies must have got in and they ate everything. So my husband he is an engineer, but he has engineered this netting for the strawberries because, again, the strawberries basically all go eaten by birds. We have a lovely tree in the garden, which I adore, but I think the birds could sit and see the strawberries because we'd see them literally about to turn red, and by the morning we'd come out, they'd all be eaten. So we're doing that along with some other little projects. So let me know. I've also I'm just thinking, there's been a lot going on in the background. It's quite nice to get to know a bit more about the person, not just what they do for work. But I've been planting for the first time loads of dahlias this year. So last year we had lupins and my husband managed to collect the seeds and then he has grown loads more lupins. So we've got loads of lupins in our front flower beds, front garden, and I've just planted loads of dahlia tubers, I think is how you say it. Anyone knows any top tips, let me know. I've done some in pots because I know you have to dig them up. Although we also have gladiola in the garden and I think you're meant to dig those up, and I've never dug them up. And they've survived. I think it's to do with the frost. Because we live right on the coast, it very rarely drops below freezing. Like, we never get snow here. And if we do, it is like not even a millimetre. So hopefully they'll be fine. But yeah, we've planted loads of mascari, daffodils. So they all look amazing this year. But we thought we'd do dahlias and then, yeah, it's like a range of other stuff. I did have a wildflower garden last year, but I'm not sure I'll do that again this year. I need to actually find the seed. It's very difficult being in Northern Ireland. Prior to that, we would have got stuff shipped very easily, but trying to get plants shipped to Northern Ireland is a nightmare. But anyway, maybe I should do a whole gardening podcast because I could go on. I'm thinking about the roses that I've planted and hydrangeas. I enjoy gardening, hence the theme of this year's Advent calendar. But I'm going to go enjoy this YouTube video and thank you so much for watching, and I'm going to be back with a what you can make with mini skeins video in the next one. As in, what can you make with Advents, mini skein, scrappy yarn, because that was really heavily requested. And then maybe talk about what I'm making. With this sun, I have got some ideas of some summer teas I want to make and different things. But thank you so much for watching and joining me, and for all your love and support over the last couple of months, and enjoy. Bye bye.